Happy Saturday, y'all. It is another episode of What's Cooking. Yes, it is Saturday morning, and I've got my crock pot out because I plan on cleaning the house today, and I know I'm not going to want to cook when I'm done. So, crock pot recipe to the rescue. Today we are making a creamy crock pot gnocchi soup, and I've just kind of healthified this recipe a little bit to make it not as starchy and not as bad carb filled as normal. So we are going to get started, and I have prepped my vegetables. I have one medium onion that I've diced up. I have 3 carrots. I'd say use 3 to 4, but 2 of my carrots were really big, so I only used 3. And then 4 stalks of celery that I've cut up. So we are going to put all of this right into that crock pot. Whoopsies, we lost the celery. And then just kind of spread that out nicely. Then we are going to add in 2 chicken breasts, probably about a pound and a half. These are really big ones, so it's probably close to a pound and a half. We're just going to set those right on top of our vegetables. There we go. And then we're going to season with some salt and pepper. You can always adjust your seasoning at the end. So I always say go light on the salt and pepper in the beginning because you can always add more, but you cannot take any out. So go light in the beginning. And then I'm going to throw in 1 giant sprig of rosemary. If yours are not this big, then definitely use like 2 or 3. But this one's really big. So I'm just going to use 1. And then I have some fresh thyme here that we're just going to like strip off of the branches. You probably want to get 2-ish tablespoons in there. So I've got quite a few sprigs here that I'm gonna shred in there. And if you don't have fresh, you can use dried, but fresh always just makes it taste so much better, and it smells so good. Like this thyme just smells amazing that when I'm pulling it off of here like this. So we're almost done with this here. And then once we're done with this, we are gonna add in 4 cups of chicken broth. I'm going to add in just a little bit more because I have a box that's already opened that has about a half a cup left in it. So I'm just going to throw it in because I have nothing else to use it for this week. So I will be adding about 4.5 cups of broth, but not a big deal. If you like a little extra soupy, then feel free to add more than 4 cups of broth. All right, this is about ready. We got one more little baby one over here to shred in. Awesome. All right, so here's the one that's almost gone. We're just gonna dump this in, and we are gonna set this on low for probably about 6 hours, 7 hours maybe. My crock pot seems to cook really fast, so I will probably set it for 6 hours, and then after that time is up, we're going to shred our chicken, put it back in, and then we're going to add our gnocchi, and some spinach is going to go in at the end, and some heavy cream, and some cornstarch to make this a creamy soup. So that's in like that, and then it's going to go for like another 45 minutes. So we're going to want to make sure that we have this part of it done about an hour before you want to eat, since you have to cook it again. So I'm just going to set this on low for like 6 hours, and then I'll be back to show you the next step. But to you guys, it'll only be like a second. Alright, it's been 6 hours. I took my chicken out and I shredded it. And by shredding it, I mean touched it with a fork and it like fell apart. So this chicken is so tender right now. Like I barely did anything and it just shredded itself. So I'm going to add this back in the pot now that it's shredded. I also took out the sprig of rosemary and I got rid of that. And before I'm adding this back in, I also took out about 1/4 cup of the broth because I mixed in 2 tablespoons of cornstarch with it. So we're just gonna whisk this back together and pour that back in. And then I'm going to add 8 ounces of heavy cream. That's going in. And then we're going to add our package of gnocchi. I buy the sweet potato gnocchi that's with whole wheat flour instead of the regular like potatoes with white flour. So these are just a smidge healthier for you. So I'm just gonna dump those in and kind of mix it around. And then we're just gonna cook this again for another 30 to 45 minutes, depending on your gnocchi, if it's done or not. And the last couple of minutes of cooking, we're gonna chop up some spinach and throw that in there and then let it wilt and it'll be time to eat. So I'm gonna recover this and I'm going to pop this on for 30 minutes and then it'll be almost be time to eat. It smells so good, I cannot wait. All right, there's just a couple minutes left on the timer, so I'm gonna add in my chopped up spinach. It's about 6 to 8 ounces of spinach. And just gonna let that wilt down. And then it is gonna be time to eat. And I am so excited. So, don't forget to subscribe down below if you guys are watching this on YouTube. And make sure that you hit that little bell icon so you get notifications every time that I post a new recipe. And if you're watching this on Instagram, then make sure that you head over to my profile and follow me so you don't miss another one over there. All right, guys, thanks for joining.